Welcome, welcome. Yo, guys, I tried to cut my hair today. Bro, I fucked my shit up. Look at this, bro. It's like uneven, bro. Okay, I don't know. Yeah, this is day 204. We're climbing. Yeah, today. Um, it's currently 109. I'm trying to go to sleep, but we are making steady progress with the development of our hoodie. V3 mockup is finally finished. For the most part, I think there were a lot of iterations I had done. But let me just show y'all. Ultimately, this is what we ended up with. It's a little basic, but I think before this it was a lot more louder, but there were a lot of graphics on here that honestly felt, out of place. Didn't really work in my opinion. Um, you know, you can always try and perfect your piece, but that doesn't necessarily mean adding more details to it or doing more to it. Eventually, you get eventually you're just left with a very loud, accentuating piece visually, but it lacks a bunch of meaning. It lacks significance with details. You know, I had to simply remove stuff just from the fact that it had no real significance in being there. So we've toned it down to three graphics, switched around the placements, and these graphics they hold a little more significance. Ultimately, what chose them was the color palettes. Um, Before I had some other kind of graphics that didn't really fit the overall scheme, but these here kind of have a consistent color palette, so I like the idea with those. Yeah. So yeah, these are our two. I was thinking about putting a big patch on the back, but then again, same, same old idea with, not doing too much. So we're probably just gonna leave it at that. That is probably our final revision. I don't see much else I could do to it. Maybe add some other stuff, distressing or some, yeah, something else. Definitely, we'll look into that. But for the most part, the general idea of it is established. It's structured out. Now I need to probably rework my wash labels. I think I'm gonna rework those. Maybe even rework the size tag. um, and I'm also gonna rework the hang tag. I'm gonna prepare the hang tag for the manufacturer, like I said in the video, in the last video. Yesterday, we talked about some changes. Today, we I played a bunch of basketball. I said I wasn't gonna aim for 1,000 calorie burn days, but today I played some basketball and I managed to hit 1,000 calories, which is great, I guess. Very spontaneous though. I don't think I'll hit another day like this where it's kind of, you know, burning 1,000 calories. I played about an hour and a half of basketball. Today was the first day in the entire year that I played a game of pickup basketball. I went to jam at YMCA with Jaden Shea. Ended up in a 4v4 with like some 20-year-old man. We was frying their ass, low key. I think we tied the games up 2-2 overall. We played about 4 games to 7. 1 point. Yeah, I think I ended up with 2-2. which is great. I was knocking down threes. I think I was 4 for 5 from the field goal. I hit one for one 3-pointer. Bro, it is so amazing to relive the experience of the thrill of a 4v4 or a pickup game. My love for basketball didn't fade, never faded. I think it only increased now because this is what I was missing. I was missing that thrill of basketball, 4v4, high stakes, high pressure, high tension. I'm tired of this silly 1v1, shenanigans. Oh my god, my hair is fucked up. I'm tired of these, 1v1s where it's just like no pressure, no nothing. It's not fun. It's not high stakes. I'm not fighting for my life here. I'm not out there trying to survive in that court. I'm just playing just to play. And then ultimately, yeah, I'm putting up bad shots because of that. Because I'm like, I'm not taking it seriously. But when it's 44, man, there's shit on the line. There's teammates depending on you. You start turning up, bro. I genuinely haven't felt so alive playing basketball in 6 whole months, and it's great now that I'm able to relive that feeling. Because truly, one of the things I miss the most, that I will say, is back when I was on the basketball team last year. We used to run pickup 5v5s, us and the boys, me, Nathan C, Blessing, John Ray, Rohan Villona, all those, we had our club, we had our squad, our team. We would play basketball on the regular, we would always be like, yo, who's trying to hoop right now? And we would just be hooping it up. And that was, bro, that is a moment I would never forget. Like, those moments were truly special. It was so fucking fun. I would say in my entire sports career, from the day I even touched like a football up until playing basketball, you know, all the events that happened. Playing these 5v5 pickups is like top one, top two. I don't even know. I don't care. It beats all of my badminton career, table tennis career, football career. It just slams all those. Like, it's not even about the real games. It was these random pickup sessions. These were the moments I live for, bro. Oh, so fun. So yeah, I got a bit of a sliver of what that was. If anything, yeah, it was great. Um, yeah, it was so fun. It was great. We were doing good too. So what else can I say? But yeah, got back home. I think I stayed in my deficit today, or my calorie goal. Didn't hit my protein, but I think I'm in the goal right now. Mainly, I'm focusing on trying to get more calories out. Um, I think once I get that, in place, it'll be a lot easier for me to um, think about calories in, because it's a lot easier on me when there's a little more room to work with, when I have more calories to spend and I have a higher calorie expenditure. Right now, it's like, um, you know, for the day, if I'm on a deficit, I can only eat like 1,600. But if I'm burning like a solid 800 a day, that's like a pretty good, you know, maintenance day to eat towards. So yeah, that's kind of the goal right now. Just focusing on trying to get calories out. Um, More so trying to eat better. Obviously, yeah, it is good to important to eat better, but I do remember back in my days, that I could literally still eat like fast food because I was burning so much calories that, I had some room to spend. So I would eat like literally whatever I want, and it was working. In the end, protein or not, it doesn't actually matter, you know, like, it only matters what the number is at the end of the day. Whether you ate under your calories or not. You could eat like 1,500 calories worth of Big Macs, but as long as you only eat that much, you're still only eating 150, 1,500 calories. It doesn't matter. So I think that was also kind of a specialty of mine, or like a thing I used to my advantage quite a lot. Like, I'm not comparing myself now to where I was before, but I'm trying to take reference of the methods and the strategies I used in those times, because obviously something worked. Well, actually, I think I do know what worked, but it was working before. So, I'm not saying I can like just do the same stuff all over again, but I can implement some of those into, this this right now. And yeah, I think the biggest takeaways was cardio after the lift, just a light cardio. Obviously, back then I was maxing it out. I think I literally average. I used to average like an hour cardio every time. I went 7 days a week, so yeah, doing fucking so much exercise. But now it's taking it slow, more monotone, moderate sessions. I do 30 to 45 minutes of cardio on the minimum. That should push out another 300, 400 calories on top of my lift. So I get probably 700, around, yeah, 700 calories plus 2.2 for the day. Maybe if I add a little more workload on my lifting sessions, because they are quite short right now, so I could bump them up a little. We're doing push pull legs. Um, yeah, if I really just focus harder on getting calories out, I can focus less on calories in, because lucky when I think about calories in too much, I kind of spiral and I just, yeah, it doesn't work out. I'm really not good at choosing what I eat. So instead of trying to force myself to develop that, I kind of just work my way around it. You don't have to eat the specific food because it has low calorie, high protein, high volume, and low key tastes like shit. You could just burn so much calories that you could low key eat whatever you want and get away with it. That was my method. Um, and only real obstacle to that is if you don't really enjoy the exercise part, um, and stuff, and you don't really find, or you can't find the energy, the effort to want to go gym that hard every day. But me right now, I think I'm in a pretty good spot. I can go gym relatively pretty easily. You know, I can wake up and not be like, oh, I have to go to the gym. I wake up like, oh, okay, let's go to the gym. Which is good. That's great. That means there's no kind of mental obstacle there. There's no pressure on me or anything. So it's easy. And I like to get strong, and I kind of feel like I owe it to myself to somewhat try get to a better physical position in life, a physical state. So right now, the gym is like I'm kind of clinging onto it. It's a matter of desperation. You know, no need for effort here because it's a matter of survival now. So yeah, it's quite easy. So if I just bump those up a little bit, maybe incorporate like two more exercises into every lift, I'll get a little more out of it. Plus cardio. So all in all, I'll barely be spending like an hour or an hour and a half max in the gym, which is, yeah, it's great, perfect. I don't need to spend that long in the gym. And then I'm not gonna do this and then go eat like shit, but I'm saying it helps to alleviate the pressure of having to think so hard about calories in. Back when I was trying to just meal prep so solely, just like if I can get my diet on lock, um, with my circumstances, just hard. I don't really have the, yeah, equipment capabilities to do so. I don't know, not an excuse, but meal prepping is, yeah, can't be fucking asked, honestly. Uh, and obviously, I know I don't eat fast food particularly much now because I understand like this isn't really macro friendly. Like the only really macro friendly thing I'm seeing is like chicken. I go out for some chicken. Uh, but not fast food. Essentially, I'm not going to be burning a bunch of calories and then going out and eating fast food. And I could if I wanted to, but point is I can eat a little more carefree, or just a little bit more. Meaning that I don't got to worry about that extra scoop of rice. Anything that fills me up is good. Just making sure that I'm still focusing on protein. You know, but I'm still getting enough food that doesn't taste like ass. I can still eat my my grandma's home cooked food without having to worry. Oh shit, I only have 300 calories left in my name. Yeah. So today's Sunday. I was actually thinking about starting my split now. or I guess today, tomorrow, just still in the night, so it doesn't count yet. If I start my split today, sorry, if I start my split tomorrow on a Sunday, and then I go push pull legs, my legs will be on Tuesday, and I don't go on Wednesday, and then I repeat the cycle till Thursday, Friday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Um, that would be, yeah, that could work. I don't like Wednesdays. I don't want to. I don't like confrontation with other people. So Wednesdays is a half day for the seniors. You know, I don't want to be seen around there. So I like to go on Monday, Tuesday, Sunday, and Thursday, Friday, Saturday, where there's absolutely nobody there that I would know. If I go around like 10, 11, usually 11. If I go around 11, yeah, who's gonna be there? School day and shit. Good for me. Good for me. So yeah, we've kind of converted back to a fitness channel somewhat. I think a few of my videos now I've been, bringing back the topic of fitness. It's great. We've come full circle. I'm glad to be on the topic of this conversation because I damn near need it. So yeah, I think this is more of a fitness talk today than a fashion whatever brand talk. But hey, these daily logs are just my life. So yeah. I saw what is it, Nathan's video today. Yo, my bottle is fading. I saw Nathan's video today, how he's stepping back from his trading full-time position. Um, nothing against it. But if I'm honest, the four burner theory, it's a theoretical formula for a reason. I don't know if he doesn't fully understand it, but literally the main law of the four burner theory is that you cannot have all four burners on at the same time. You know, it's not a thing you work around. That is just how it is because it doesn't work that way. And he has to turn one of the burners off, which is his trading burner, I guess, out of the four. Well, mate, that's how it was supposed to be anyway. You know, it's not a matter of balance because you half-ass everything and then you get nothing accomplished. If you try and put your efforts, you sprinkle a little bit of your efforts, you spread your eggs across multiple baskets, you just end up with a bunch of half-ass shit for all four of the things. I'm not directly hitting at you, I'm not dissing you, just saying. It's just that's how the four burner theory works. Is that you by law cannot have four on, you know? And that's like this established law, it doesn't just go for the four burner theory. It's just like that's how it works in this world. You cannot have something without the sacrifice of another thing, or you cannot truly achieve something great, something of extreme high effort without obviously taking your efforts off of other things. You know, it's not easy to build a successful brand and get rich. You can't, if everyone could do it as easily as just balancing and staying consistent, then everybody would be a brand owner and fucking rich. You know, if all it took was for you to spend an hour of your time in the 24 hours you have in a day, or like the 18 hours or 16 hours you're awake, then you could be, a millionaire just by doing that an hour out of your day. Like, did you expect it to be that easy? Oh yeah, I guess you could stay consistent for an hour. I mean, I guess you could stay consistent every day and do it for an hour. You might get somewhere with it. But point is, you cannot achieve something great that way. You can look at all the other billionaires, millionaires, not the guys who got lucky, but the guys who genuinely put their efforts and time and their life into something. Look how they turned out. They've achieved something great. What did it come with? Sacrifice. Why do all billionaires say they're all lonely as shit? Because they devoted their life and their time to something so beyond themselves, that they, forgot about the relationships, they forgot about the connections they make because they're so devoted into something that they just, yeah, they can't make time for that stuff anymore. And why do you think, billionaires, they're low key like deranged, they're low key like emotionless, and they're low key, you know, dickheads? People don't, they want these billionaires because they actually have impact in the world, through their, they devoted so much of their time, their life into something great. Something great as in something that genuinely can impact the world. Look at Facebook, look at Nvidia, look at all those guys. They have the power to really change the world and how society runs, or they can change the future of our generations to come. Those guys aren't all that sociable. They're not very outgoing, and they're not easy to talk to. Some of them are genuinely assholes. The way they treat people, the way they kind of you know disregard anything you have to say, or they disregard your time completely, because we're not looking at billionaires as to be respectable people. We're looking at them who have the power, capabilities, and skills and brains and all that to genuinely make impact in this world. And we don't need a superstar role model who has a great personality and great charm. We need a guy who is devoted to his craft and can really achieve something with that, like Elon Musk. He doesn't, people say he's fat and shit, but they want him to be fat. They're like, I can put my trust in this guy because he's fat. He doesn't. It's not that he doesn't take care of his body; it's that he doesn't have time to. He's so devoted into his craft that he doesn't. He's not worried about how good he looks in the mirror. And they're like, I remember they put him up against a photo of Jeff Bezos, who's, I think it was Jeff Bezos or Mark Zuckerberg, is one of the two, who has been working out and they're getting ripped and stuff. They're like, I can put my trust in Elon Musk. If the guy who is has the capabilities of leading this generation looks like that, he's really doing this for the people, or he's doing this. He's really putting his heart into it. Like if you want to get to that level, you do not have the time to be you know dilly dallying with other aspects of your life, and that's just how it is. That is the four burner theory. You the more you turn off, the more you can maximize the one you still have on. If you want to go all hard on the business, max it out, you need to be ready to turn every other burner off. If you have all four on, mate, it's gonna be lower than fucking nothing. It'll be as dim as a spark in a winter forest. Like, truly, will not be. It won't look good. But I believe Nathan knows what he's doing. He's on the right track. Once again, it's not a diss. I'm not. This is not all at you. I was just explaining my thought. But yeah, you are definitely. This is a choice that you believe in. So whatever choice that is, I'm sure you know that you are capable of making the right choice. I'm not saying what you're doing is the wrong choice. If anything, actually find this personally, or like perfectly valid, um, of a decision. You know, it's your own pace, and if this is what's best for you, then obviously, yeah, you want to do what's best for you. People live their life differently. I don't believe you've given up, but all I ask is that whatever venture you go forth with, or whatever you decide to truly pursue, is that you go all in and you really put your heart and soul into something. I don't want to see no more four burners on. I don't want to see no more of that. It doesn't work. You know, you cannot keep them on. They're gonna burn out. They're too dim to light. You know, the fire's too small. It won't last. I just hope that, yeah, it might be trading, it might be whatever it is. Whatever you pursue, you go to the absolute depths of your soul for it. You pursue it with no ends, any means possible. That you just go at it as hard as you fucking can. And yeah, just devote your life to something. I'm saying whatever that is, just go hard. Just, yeah. If you really want to live a life with no regrets, you just have to go hard at something you choose, Whatever you choose in life, you just make sure you try your 100,000% at it. That is how you live a life with no regrets. This is day 2 of 4. That is enough for me. I'm gonna stop yapping now. Go to sleep. Peace.